What are some things women should consider before agreeing to a C-section procedure?
Well, it depends on what the reason is. I mean, I've seen women whose blood pressures were high, very high. So they were in preeclampsia and bordering on eclampsia. And so in that case, the mantra is better to get the baby out because then that resolves the issue. So just being fully informed as to why they're recommending a C-section. Some women go for prenatal appointments. They're 37 weeks pregnant, and their doctor or caregiver will say, listen, we're going to schedule you for a C-section. Well, that's not evidence-based. Why? You understand what I'm saying? Or they'll say, well, baby's too big or too small after an ultrasound. But they're not always accurate. As a matter of fact, a lot of times they're not that accurate. You know, it's like, oh, your baby's too big. He's almost 9 pounds. And then the baby's born and the baby's like 8'3" or less. It's just not accurate. So, yeah, you have to know the reasons. And that's what we talk to moms about. You know, what makes a C-section necessary? So blood pressure may make it necessary. An issue with baby's heartbeat could be necessary, maybe not. Because maybe you could just change mom's position. Because in a hospital birth, they have you what we call hustling backwards. You're on your back, you got a monitor here and a monitor there. You know, you may be semi-reclining or semi-sitting, whatever, but the baby still has to navigate that birth canal. You know, so sometimes that'll cause the heartbeat to drop, especially if you're using medications like Pitocin. Pitocin, there's a thing where you can get a domino effect. You know, and Pitocin, you didn't ask me about. Well, we could talk about Pitocin, okay? So, Pitocin is a synthetic hormone. It's a hormone that your body produces naturally, except it does not act like the natural hormone. It increases or intensifies contractions. The hormone your body produces contractions, but it also balances out the intensity and the pain and the discomfort because it crosses that barrier in your brain that handles pain. Pitocin doesn't do that. So it does increase contractions, but it's harder to handle. And it also sometimes it affects the baby. So it may make the baby's heartbeat drop. Because if it's added pressure on your uterus to push the baby out, it's added pressure on the baby. So now they're talking about, well, the baby's heartbeat is dropping, it doesn't look too good. If things are not moving along the next hour or so, we should talk about a C-section. So what do you want to do in that case? Yeah, sometimes in a hospital setting, you know, they're kind of managing your labor journey. You know what I'm saying? So they'll put you on a time frame. And in their mind, this happens in the first stage, second stage, third stage. And this is how long that lasts, this is how long that lasts, this is how long that lasts. So you go over that time frame. You see what I'm saying? And so that's when they may talk to you about a C-section. Or what they'll do is before the C-section conversation, they'll start with the Pitocin because you've been too long in your first stage of labor or even in your second stage of labor. And so we want to hurry it up a little bit. We're just going to get your labor started and get it a little stronger. And that's how they talk to you. And we're going to give you a little Pitocin. We're going to start you off with a low dose. You know, but like you said, sometimes there's a strategy behind that. Because they start you off with, you know, those IV things, 2 drops per minute or whatever of Pitocin. And they come back in an hour and raise it up to 4. And they come back in another hour, raise it up to 8. You know what I'm saying? And the whole time that's increasing your contractions stronger and stronger and stronger so you can get through the process. And they're telling you that's to help you move along. You know what I'm saying? But one of the solutions that I work with is I tell a mom after we've been through a month or two of education and meetings and talkings and practice and all the stuff we need to do, and I tell her, when you go into labor, don't go to the hospital. Call me, because I'm going to keep you home. I'm going to keep you home, and you can have a natural labor for as long as you can. And then when you feel you're ready, because it's always mom's choice, she knows what she can handle, what she can't handle, you just try to encourage her. And then when she's ready, she goes to the hospital. A lot of times I've done that, and they didn't have time to do all the interventions. Ha ha. Yep.
Well, let me hear